So Lovely with Grace, video 167, Halloween 2025, take one. Hi everyone, welcome to So Lovely with Grace. If you're new here, I'm Grace. If you're returning, welcome back. Happy Halloween. What better way to start Halloween than with a nice hot cup of coffee in my pumpkin mug that I got at Hobby Lobby last year. Yes, today I have a lot for you. I am going to be talking about, the topic today is embroidery, machine embroidery with freestanding lace and an in the hoop project. I'm also going to be talking about Vogue 9292, this dress, this Halloween costume that I made that Fanny's wearing, and I'm going to be talking about how I use this spray stabilizer in my sewing room in today's So Lovely tip. And as I always like to start off my videos with the giveaway. And last week's pattern was McCall's 8314 jumpsuit with a sash, rated as easies, sizes extra small to medium. And the question of the week last week was, are you sewing for Halloween? And not many people are this year, including myself, actually. I didn't really sew for Halloween. I sewed for the fall, and I didn't even really sew. It was embroidery, but I'll show you that later. But yeah, a majority of you did not sew for Halloween this year. I did last year, this dress, this costume that I'm going to talk about a little later. So let's go to this wheel and spin for the winner of this McCall's pattern. Here's the spreadsheet with the 24 entries and imported into Wheel of Names. And I'm going to shuffle twice, once, twice, and spin for the lucky winner of this jumpsuit pattern. Here we go. Who's it gonna be? Okay, and the winner is RT Blade 4. Congratulations! Congratulations, RT Blade 4. You're this week's winner of the pattern giveaway for McCall's 8314. Please send me your contact information to solovely.with.grace@gmail.com. Please be sure to put the pattern number in the subject of the email so it doesn't get lost in spam, and I'll ship it out to you as soon as possible. And now I want to talk about Halloween and what it means to me. I don't get into anything of the spiritual realm with Halloween. To me, it's just an American tradition of fun and creativity and make-believe. So when you're a kid, you dressed up as a character and you went out and got candy. And that, to me, even as an adult, I have that in my mind. So that's what Halloween means to me. I remember as a child in school, you would go dressed up and then they would let you out either on the playground or on the, around the school, and you would parade around in your costume. And you'd be so proud of it. You would pretend to be that character, then you'd go back to the classroom and get some candy. And that's what I thought about when I think about Halloween. And just kids going around and knocking on doors, dressed up with their family, getting candy. And I just remember powdered donuts, glazed donuts, jelly donuts, just donuts, apple cider, candy apples, caramel candy apples, and all kinds of treats on Halloween. Now to me, Halloween is a day where you can bring out your inner child and your creativity and pretend. You dress up as a character and pretend to be that character and have a great time. Just like a TV show or a movie, what's the difference? You have actors, they dress up as a character and they pretend to be that character. So that's the way I look at it. I look at it, Halloween, as a day of just being someone else, something else, just pretending and having a good time. And I wanted to show you this dress that Fanny's wearing and where I got the inspiration from last year. I got it on Pinterest from this photo. Isn't that amazing? I saw this photo, and when I saw it, I immediately thought of this pattern. This Vogue 9292 pattern, the one that she's wearing, and I didn't have this pattern. Excuse me. But Auset from the House of Audacity 1961, she's my sewing sister, she sent it to me because I mentioned I was looking for it. She's so generous. Go to her channel. She's amazing. And I was so thrilled to get this pattern because I couldn't find it at Joann's at the time. And when I got it, I immediately ordered fabric from Etsy because there was no way I could find this fabric anywhere but on the internet, and I got it at Etsy. I got this like satin fabric with kind of like this felt feeling here, and then this web for the sleeves. And oh yeah, I had another pattern I used with this for the sleeves. Let me pull that out. It's a Simplicity bodysuit pattern. This is the Simplicity pattern that I used. The bodysuit pattern 8513, and I used the sleeves in this view. The bell sleeve, and I finished the sleeve on my costume with black bias tape. Came out wonderful. And yeah, so these are the two patterns that I used to construct the dress. And I have a whole video on it. I hope you watch it. I, uploaded it last year on Halloween, and Toto's in it. It's a really cute, fun video. I'll put the link to it in the description box. Please go check it out because I show you how I made this dress, this beautiful costume. That's a lot of fun that I use for charity sewing with my quilt groups. And, it's a costume. So it's not like extremely perfect everything, like the hem, for example. I didn't even make a hem. I just serged the bottom. Because this fabric frayed. This frayed so much that if I didn't serge it, I was like, it's going to fall apart. And then I got this web fabric, which was really cool. I got this on Etsy also. And the video talks about it, so I hope you watch that. It's a lot of fun, like I said. And now I want to talk about my freestanding lace projects that I made for the fall. Oh, before I show you my fall creations, I had one more creation that I made on the embroidery machine for Halloween, and it's this really beautiful pumpkin. It has 6 panels, 3 designs that repeat twice. And I had to stitch out each one of these with fabric. So you have the haunted house, the ghost, and the tree. And I also have this beautiful leaf. Look at that. And the stem, each piece of the stem. And I had to put them all together. It was very involved. It took like a week to do because I only did like one panel, 1 or 2 a day. I don't even remember. And then there's this bottom opening. And what goes in there? A tea light. So you set this down with a tea light inside. I got these tea lights at OESD. You can get them anywhere. You can get them at probably Walmart, Dollar Tree. And you just put it inside, turn it on. I'll insert some photos. But this was a very involved project. It's an in the hoop project. And each piece is a separate hooping. And this was the design at OESD. If you go to their website, this is the design, this is the number, and this is my pumpkin that I made, and I got these other ones I can make, and multiple colors. You don't have to use orange and black. You can choose whatever you want. And this is the freestanding, what's it called? Freestanding Halloween Pumpkin Patch. And they have 6 of them in here. It's very, very nice. OESD. And these are the instructions that I have. But I made it like 5 or 6 years ago, I can't remember. So I can't really show you because, I didn't record it back then. But that's what I made. And now I'm going to talk about the freestanding lace designs that you can make very simply in one hooping if you have that hoop size. Otherwise, a 4x4 hoop would work too. And this was the pumpkin that I made. This is so cute. It's not necessarily for Halloween. It could be for Thanksgiving. You could put it on each, a person's table and their place setting. It has two pieces. So you have an opening here and an opening here, and it just slides in. And of course the embroidery thread has to match the bobbin thread. So you have to have a full bobbin of the same thread for each color. So in this case I used orange and then green for the stem, but you can make a blue pumpkin, a yellow pumpkin, whatever you want. And it's like a three-dimensional pumpkin. You can just put it, I have a few in my home, very cute in multiple colors, very easy to make. And the other thing I made on the embroidery machine are these pumpkin earrings that I'm wearing. I have a pair here, so you can see them up close. Same thing, you want the thread and the bobbin to match so that both sides of the earring are the same. And it looks really good. These are great gifts, and you buy the hardware anywhere. You can buy it at Hobby Lobby, Walmart. Very cute. Look at these. I love them. I wear them. And I got mine on. I love them here for Halloween. Wear them for Thanksgiving. I have a matching apron that I wear pumpkin earrings with for Thanksgiving. And for Christmas, I made some freestanding lace earrings, these snowflakes. Check them out. This is with metallic thread. Now metallic thread is a little harder to use because it's kind of funky, so you got to be careful, you got to watch it, and you got to slow the speed down on your embroidery machine while it's stitching. And of course you want the thread and the bobbin to match, so you got to fill your bobbin with the metallic thread. And of course I change the needle for every time I have a new project. So yeah, these are really cute. Now the plan for these is, well, I made another set for me, I gotta have it too. I'm gonna give those with that navy blue pashmina that I stitched out the snowflakes. That's gonna be a phenomenal gift. The pashmina with the snowflakes and those earrings, those snowflake earrings, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. So I'm gonna show you how I stitched out this pumpkin, the earrings, all in one hoop on my embroidery machine. Now I'm planning out my freestanding lace designs because I like to do multiple designs in one hoop so I can maximize the use of my stabilizer. So I loaded this 9.5 by 14 hoop, which I can get a lot of designs on it. And this one, this in the hoop pumpkin, this is two pieces. So you have this piece here, the orange with the green stem, and then this other piece that comes out is all orange. And that's just home decor for Halloween, Thanksgiving, the fall, through the season until Christmas. And also these pumpkin earrings you can wear. I made these for myself and I want to make another pair. And I also want to make these sparkly snowflake earrings. Look at that. What's interesting is I want to make it with metallic thread just because I wanted to. But then when I was reading this, it says this design has been digitized for metallic thread. And I've never read that before. I've done freestanding lace and I've never seen a design specifically digitized for metallic. So this is going to be an easy peasy and it should not give me any issues. So I'm excited. Now I'm going to load the embroidery machine with these designs. So I have my thread ready. I filled the bobbin for the orange here because I know I'm going to use a lot of it between all the pumpkins. And I have green. I won't need much just for the stem. And then I have the silver metallic thread for the snowflake earrings. And I have all these designs loaded into my embroidery machine. So now I'm going to add them to the hoop and I'm going to walk you through that. Since I'm going to be using a 9.5 by 14 hoop, which is pretty large, I want to get a lot of designs in here. and I'm going to use that sulky water soluble stabilizer. So I loaded the designs on my embroidery machine, and I need to add them to the hoop. So I'm going to show you how I do that. So I'll go to the wireless, and I got a whole bunch of designs that I've used. And now here's where it's critical, because it's going to stitch out the order you add these to the hoop. So I want to do all the orange first. So I'm going to add the pumpkin. Okay, so I'm going to hit set, and I'm going to hit add. I'm going to add another pumpkin. I know it's a little cumbersome. I haven't figured out how to add multiple at one time, so I just add them one at a time. And of course you can move them around, which I will after I add them. So it's going to stitch out these pumpkins first. I'm just going to continue to add. And okay, so I have a pair of pumpkin earrings I'm going to make. I just want one pair, and I want to add this pumpkin and this two-piece set for that pumpkin. So I'm going to add that. Hit set. And I'm going to add. I'm going to add the other pumpkin with the stem. And hit set. Of course, it looks like a mess right now, but I'm going to be moving these around with my stylus. So it's going to stitch out the earrings first, and then it's going to stitch out this orange piece, and then this one with the stem. Okay, that's what I want. I don't want them too close together because I don't want any jamming. And then I want to add the sparkling earrings. Oops. Well, let's return. I want to hit add again. Go back to my sparkling earring right here. Okay, I'm going to hit set. So there's one of them. I'm going to move that up here. I think I'm going to make two pairs of the sparkling earrings, one for me and one to give as a gift. So I'm going to continue adding. Hit add again. And just keep going. Wait till it loads. You get the idea. Hit add again. I know it's a little repetitive, but it gets quicker as you do it. One more. And you know, you can add other designs. There's many that'll fit in the hoop. So I think I have all I want right now. And I'm just going to move them around because I do want to make sure they all fit and there's not going to be a problem. I think that's a good spacing. So up here it says the hoop size is probably 11 by 7, 11 and a half by 7, and I have a 9.5 by 14. So that's going to accommodate it. I think we're going to be okay. So I'm going to hit embroidery. And like I said, the orange one, the earring's going to stitch out. First earring, second earring, then this one's going to stitch out, then this one, and then all the sparkly snowflakes. And that's important because you don't want to keep changing the thread. The other thing is, for each step you want the bobbin thread to match the thread you're using. So for the pumpkins, the bobbin's going to be orange. And then once you get to the green stem, of course, you want to take the green or the orange bobbin out and put the green bobbin in there. And this is the hoop, so I need to put the stabilizer in it. So what I'm going to do is just test this hoop with this. It just goes around the hoop to see if all these designs are going to fit. I always do that. So it gives you like the area where it's going to stitch out. Sometimes you'll get an error and says you need to switch to a bigger hoop, or, you know, which I don't have a bigger hoop than this, but if not, I would delete some designs and, you know, have a smaller hoop. But it's going to work. So now I'm going to hoop this with the stabilizer and start stitching with the first earring. I went to hoop the stabilizer in that hoop and it was not wide enough, so I ended up going with this hoop. This is an 8x12, which does indeed fit all the designs, because here it says 11.2 by 7.28, and I did that test with the perimeter here, so I press that, and this goes around and shows where the designs are going to be and if they all fit, and it does. So now I can begin stitching it out. I'm going to start with the orange, and I already loaded the bobbin. And I start with the earrings. My first pumpkin earring is looking really cute. It's coming along well. I forgot to change the needle, so midway a thread broke, and I was like, while I'm at it, while I rethread the machine, I'm going to just change the needle. With embroidery, the best practice is to change the needle a lot, because you want to optimize your stitch out. It's not worth screwing up a stitch out because you didn't change the needle. So it's coming along. Bobbin's running out, so now I got to change the bobbin. But it's looking good. Almost done. Yep. This is incredible. The pumpkin just finished, and in my 13 years of doing machine embroidery, I've never seen this happen. But the thread ended right there when this finished. The thread spool is empty. I just made it, and I don't even have any more of this orange. So it's crazy, but I had to show it. I'm glad I recorded this because for me, this is historical. I stitched out this earring here, sparkly snowflake, and this one here, and now I'm on my third one, and then I'll shoot back up in the corner there and do the fourth one, and I'll be done with all these stitch outs. And the pumpkin's looking great. It's finished actually. I have the final stitch out, and I ended up with 2 pairs of these earrings here and here. I had to add this because this one, I don't know what happened. It got really close to the pumpkin, so now I'm going to have to figure out how to remove this. I'm going to have to punch it out and maybe get the seam ripper or something, but I got to be real careful because I don't want to damage the pumpkin. But ooh, this is pretty hard. So I'm going to get, I think I'm going to get scissors. Yeah, these earrings are a little tough. And I'm just going to rip them away carefully. That's one. And I think I'm going to dip it in water because there's a lot of stabilizer in between all this. So I'm doing this with one hand because I'm holding the camera. But basically I'm just pulling it away from the stabilizer. You can get a Q-tip and add some water. It'll come out really easy. I'm going to see what I can do here. So I'm going to be careful with this piece. Alright, I'll show you the finished results. I removed them from the hoop and I trimmed around the threads. Now I need to take the stabilizer out of the center part. Now the instructions say to submerge this in water, but I don't want it to be soft. I want it to be stiff. And I already did it here, as you can see. So all I do is I get a Q-tip and I just, with some water, and just rub it down, and it'll melt away. All the stabilizer will just disappear, and then you got the space to put the two pieces together. I'm going to let it dry, and that's it. Those wonderful freestanding lace projects are just that simple. I want to show you where I got them from if I haven't already. This sparkling snowflake design I got from Embroidery Library, and the In the Hoop freestanding lace 3D pumpkin I got from CME Creative Machine Embroidery. These are the instructions. It's just the one page, very easy. And yeah, you guys should try it. And now for today's So Lovely tip. This So Lovely tip actually came from this creation, this 3D pumpkin. It didn't even occur to me until I went to make this, and I forgot about this Terrial Magic. Have you heard of this? It's a stiffener. It stiffens your fabric, and for me, the freestanding lace. So what I did was, when I made this, I followed all the instructions of using that stabilizer, the water soluble, even though I don't submerge it in water because it gets flimsy. And at the end, the last sentence, I put this note down that I completely forgot about. It's called Spray with Terrial Magic and have it dry overnight. And that's my So Lovely tip. What you do is, when you're done creating these pieces, like these two pieces, the pumpkin, I set them on a paper towel or a rag or cloth or whatever, and I spray Terrial Magic. I saturate it with Terrial Magic, and it really stiffens it when it dries, and it just doesn't fall, it doesn't flop. Even the earrings, I like to use this. You just spray it on and it stiffens. This is also a great product if you haven't heard of it. I'm sure there's other starches out there maybe you have experience with that are better, maybe not, but I love Terrial Magic. And you spray this on a quilting cotton, it's like paper. It gets that crunchy like paper. So if you're doing appliques, this is a wonderful product to use. So that's my So Lovely tip today. And now for next week's giveaway. Well, I have a special surprise for you today. And now for next week's giveaway surprise, it's gonna be the earrings and the 3D pumpkin. One lucky winner is gonna win these beautiful pumpkin earrings and this 3D pumpkin. So what are the rules of the giveaway? Well, you need to be a resident of US or Canada. You need to be a subscriber to my channel. Please thumbs up this video and answer the question of the week. And this week's question is, are you sewing anything for yourself for Christmas? Put it in the comments. Please post your response by Monday, November 3rd at midnight, and I will respond with the word entered, and you'll be entered into the giveaway. Good luck! Well, I hope you found this video informative and fun, and most of all, I hope you were so inspired.